So let's talk about Easter eggs, more specifically Squid Game's Easter eggs. So I pretty much am going to talk about, of course, let's start off with the biggest one. But before we do, let's talk about you going ahead and subscribing and turning on that notification bell because we're doing a more in-depth video on Squid Game and its symbolism, all of that. But we also talk a lot of other things you love in pop culture, so don't miss that. And let's get to 20,000 subscribers, but let's get right into these Easter eggs. So of course, I want to start off with one of the biggest ones that we've seen everybody talking about, and I just want to give my own input on it because it ties into my video I'm doing this week, and that's that all of the games were on the wall. The writing was on the wall, as they say, right? So pretty much we know that all of these contestants played all of these games, but they were actually sleeping next to all of the games, and it was a big thing always to know what game was coming up next. That way they could be prepared, and they never knew, but the doctor of course was always getting hints for doing what he was doing, but he didn't really have to because all of the games were drawn on the wall. Red light, green light, the marbles game, the honeycomb game, the squid game, all of them, they were all on the wall, and they didn't see them because they were covered by the beds. But if they had worked together and took a moment to assess the situation, they would have seen them all. And I mean, what else could it have done, right? Except prepare them. I feel it was more of a mockery from the head games for the final ones to see all of the games on the wall and for it to be like, damn, it was just right there. But alas, let's get into the final twist of the movie show. I call it a movie, but it's a show, and what it means. Of course, we know that the old man was behind the Squid Game, but there were clues pointing towards him, and all of these clues were pretty much laid out for you in a second viewing. If you go back to it, you can pretty much see that the old man was always behind it because all the clues just pointed at it. So for starters, let's start off with the red light, green light, which is one of the more in your face clues, I feel, and one that made me feel a little different about the old man the first time I saw it, but I didn't really think about it that much after, and that's what happens when more shocking things happen, right? So they try to sort of guide you in a different direction and make you feel something else, and that's because during red light, green light, he is the only one that's moving with so much ease, I would say. There is no fear in him, and he doesn't really mind going through it. You also notice when the little girl robot is scanning for people's movements, there is nothing around the old man like an aura to show the movements and all of that, and that's pretty telling right there. And that's something I noticed as well first time viewing it, but I didn't really give much thought after that. So I thought that that was interesting right there. He's also pretty well known for all of the games, as well as he talks during each game saying that this is something he remembers from his childhood. And I think one of the more specific ones that really comes to mind is the marbles game, when the whole town and home they're around is very much so pulled from his own memory. So I thought it was odd that you would have somebody who remembers so much detail about something into a specific period of their life as well. And although be it the show tries to throw you off by just making it seem like he has dementia, which I'm pretty sure he does have some sort of form of that, and maybe he's just confused and this isn't really what it looked like. By the end of the show, you realize that, yeah, this is exactly what it looked like since he was the one designing all of this. So I thought that that was pretty interesting when you watch it a second time to notice all of those details that he remembers a lot of it. And that's one of the reasons they're able to win some of the games as well, such as Tug of War, because he designed the game and knew the best strategies to win. So if you were on his team, you pretty much had that advantage. Even if he didn't bring the strength, he did bring the brains behind the game. So that was something to watch right there. And I believe that he just was very much so done by the time the marble game came, because the next games were just pretty much left to chance, and there was no way of an advantage for him to know how to win those games, since they were very much so like anybody can go. And I thought that was pretty cool. So what are your thoughts on all of these Easter eggs right here? As I said, I think that they're pretty cool. Once you watch them again, you definitely see that the clues to survive this game were all around you and to prepare you for them. But I think that one of the things that messed everybody up is just the shock when you're in something like that, and the whole feeling of everybody's against me, so I'm not going to try and really make a team or anything like that, which was very interesting. Some people have asked, I've seen, why did the old man decide to end the game if he was the one behind the game? And I think this all goes back to psychology. I think that he realized that a lot of people actually died during red light, green light, and that's because they were scared and didn't want to do it anymore. And I feel he thought in his mind, well, if we're going to continue this and people are scared, they're not really going to play all the way. So I think it's time for us to just end it. And if people come back, they're more in their head, I'm coming back because I want the money, and sort of have more of a player's edge of sorts where they're going to do whatever it takes to get that money. And I think that's why he agreed to do it. So if people did return, the game would be played that much better because everybody was more knowing these are the consequences and I'm ready to die for this money and do whatever it takes. So by the time we got a second round about, it was a lot more focused, and people were very brutal as well, as you can see, right? Sang-woo, he let my boy Ali down, and I can never forgive him for that. So that's all I'm gonna say about that. But I mean, it's very interesting to watch in the second time. So if you definitely take the time to do that, you definitely notice all of the clues that point that the old man wasn't who he said he was. And I thought that's pretty cool right there. But let me know your thoughts on Squid Game and all of the Easter eggs, and what are you hoping to see come in season 2. I'm going to make a video going more in depth about the symbolism and themes around season 1, as well as a video on season 2, sort of like my thoughts on it and what's to come as well. So stay tuned for that. And we'll definitely explore more of the symbolism and the deeper meanings while watching this show, especially with the colors and the cinematic experience that it brings as well. So don't want to miss that video if that's what you want to see. I know a lot of people were asking for that as well, so definitely going to be coming this week, as well as my season 2 theories, like I said. But we got American Horror Story coming to a premiere this week, so got that video coming out. I got another theory coming out on American Horror Story tomorrow. There should be a Midnight Mass video tonight as well, so if you haven't checked that out, go check it out if you've already watched the series. But as I said, spooky season will start on tomorrow, as we get 3 days before we start October, which is going to just be filled with spooky stuff. So definitely a lot coming to the channel. Also on my TikTok, there's going to be a ton of more content that I'll probably won't upload here, and if I do, I'll upload a couple of them, just because I don't want to bombard this channel with so much stuff that many people are going to be shying away from it because it's just too much. So definitely for more spooky horror stuff is going to be over there, for like edits and like quick little like stories, all of that. So go over there, Campfire Tales with a Z. Also follow me on Twitter to keep up to date with everything I post, and I'll see all of you next time. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the bell notification. Check out the video on the left. As always, stay safe, stay positive.